Hey there, it's Catlin here. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to cover a piece of chipboard with a piece of, this is actually index cardstock, about a 60-pound weight, whatever, and get yourself a nice cover on all the sides. So you'll find this useful for your mini albums, exploding boxes, anywhere you're using chipboard to prevent you from having the little bits that show through there. So I've scored. This is my piece. It's 4 inches by 4 inches. I like having a 1/2 inch to wrap it on all the sides. So on 2 sides, I've scored lightly at the 1/2 inch mark. And that gives me a guide for setting my thing in true, so I'm exactly square when I start off with. So I've got that there. So let's get some glue. This again is my fabulous art glitter glue that I love so much. And I'm just going to put a line on my stock all the way around the edges, and a quick light scribble in the middle so there's no buckling, just like that. And then I'm going to pick this up so I can see it easier in the light, and I'm going to line this up nice and square with my score marks. Going to seal my glue up so it doesn't dry out, because it does very quickly. I'm going to turn this upside down. I'm going to get my bone folder. I'm using a Teflon bone folder here so it doesn't emboss the paper or leave those little shiny marks on it that you get on some of it. This one here I bought on Amazon.com. It's a lot bigger and it was a lot cheaper than the name brand one that I've seen at the craft shows, which seemed to be about $40 or something. I think I paid $16 for this, and it came with a genuine bone folder as well. So good investment. Excuse me. So we've got this glued down now. Here is the trick. If you just fold it over your paper here and you cut your corners on the angle across here, you would show a little gap in here with your miter. So the trick is you take a piece of chipboard that's the same width as the chipboard that you're using. This is exactly the same. And you want to balance that on the end like that. Get a pencil. Get your 45 degrees there. And lightly mark that with your pencil. You want to do that on all 4 sides and lightly mark that with your pencil. And on the 4th side. You really want to take your time and get these as accurate as you can. So those are looking good. So put my pencil away. Now you can see that there's a tiny gap here between your chipboard and where your cutting line is. Get that in closer and see if that'll pick that up. There you go. Tiny gap in here. And that's going to make all the difference in the world. So you're going to get your scissors and you're going to cut on the outside of the pencil line. Just the very barest outside of the pencil line. Never on the pencil line, never in the pencil line. Just outside that pencil line by the smallest little smidge. Just to give you a little bit of oops room. And again, take your time. It makes a big difference. You get quicker as you go along, and you've done it a zillion times, but it pays to spend the extra seconds for a professional look. So now I've got that cut. You can just see my pencil lines left on there. And I'm going to persuade the card around my chipboard. If I scored it and gave a sharp edge, it's likely to crack. So what you want to do is you want to persuade it by just bending it up like that on your hard surface. Go all the way around. And just do it gently and take your time and let the cardstock stretch and go over and around. So I'm just going to repeat that. Go a little bit farther, a little bit farther, a little bit farther, a little bit farther. Okay. Now we should have a perfect miter edge here on all of our corners because we've left that gap. There will be a tiny little bit of extra left over here in the tiniest little bit of the corner, but we'll show you how to take care of that too. So let's glue down the first mitered edge. Go right to the mitered edge. I want to go down in here, go up to the top, persuade it over the rest of the way. I'm going to use my bone folder and just glue that down. And I've got a softer edge right here. I haven't gone and creased it nice and sharp or anything like that because that edge is going to actually show. So now we have this tiny little piece here that if I fold that down, you can just see the smallest little bit there. See that smallest little piece? You can easily get rid of that by just bending it over, break the fibers, bend it over on the corner, just roll it over on your board and it will fold in nicely and just disappear. Or you can hit it with your bone folder and just neaten it up. It basically will disappear as soon as you add the glue to it. So let's do the next side here. And again, do into our crease. Up to the top. And we fold that down. You can give that a little push with your fingernail. That little piece. Hit it again with your bone folder. And stick it down. And you've got a perfect mitered edge there. So let's see how it works all the way around. So again, you can see that little bitty pointy piece that's sticking up here. Hopefully. There it is. We're going to break that by rolling in the edge on the table just to loosen up the fibers. Then we're going to glue edge to edge to edge. We're going to give that a kick with our fingernail, just sort of push it into place, fold it in, glue that down. Yes, your edges won't be exactly perfectly aligned on here because the one has got the full ½ inch, the other's got the width of the cardboard out of it. But seeing as you're going to have decorator paper covering this, it's not going to make a difference. So there we go, another perfect miter. Come down here, got our last side. Got a pointed edge and a pointed edge, so let's roll both of those over. Here and here. Little tuck with our finger. And then when we put the glue on, the glue will soften the fibers up enough just to make that tuck in nicely and disappear. So we're going to glue this down again. Just give it a little tuck with your fingernail. Tuck it in and over. Tuck it in and over. And glue that down. Get your bone folder. Just hit that edge again. Same thing, hit that edge again. And there you have a piece of chipboard that is beautifully covered all the way around. And as I said, that works for anything you're doing, any type of framing, any type of mini album, cards, backgrounds, exploding boxes. But that's the way you perfectly cover a piece of chipboard, by leaving that little edge there with the piece of chipboard exactly the same width. You can buy a cartonnage tool that does that for you, but I find just a piece of the chipboard that I'm using is right here. It's handy and it's always perfect. So that's my little tutorial on wrapping a piece of chipboard. I hope you join us in our group, Paper Tools, Tips, Tutorials, and Techniques on Facebook, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.